Hi, I'm George, the Weather Dad, and we're going to be talking about the remainder of this week, this weekend, and a little bit into next week. Now, overall, it's not going to be all that exciting. It's going to be warm. It's July, so you would expect that. And there's going to be a chance of showers, especially later on in the period, unfortunately, going into our upcoming weekend. Let's take a look at temperatures. Nothing really major here. We're still pretty warm across the area. Normal highs in the mid 80s, mid to upper 80s, and some places down around Kentucky, Tennessee Valley. A little bit cooler, certainly up towards the north. But again, we've been experiencing this type of weather now for quite a few weeks, and that's going to continue. By Thursday, you're starting to see a little bit of cooler weather up in this area, some showers and a couple of thunderstorms. Also, notice a little bit of yellow down here in Kentucky and West Virginia. There's going to be a precipitation down in this area, so that's going to keep temperatures down a little bit, but humidity levels will be a little bit higher as well. Here on Fridays, we're starting to see some change. Again, we're going to see some showers and thunderstorms. This time of year, when you start seeing yellows, which represent normal temperatures, mainly reflects either a strong cold front coming in, which I don't see, or some showers and clouds around the area. On Saturday, again, pretty much the same thing. Here comes the next system coming in, and that's again going to give us a somewhat active upcoming weekend. On Sunday, again, you see some yellows across some of the Ohio Valley. The heat, though, really building off towards the west at this point. In fact, we're going to be seeing a ridge of high pressure building off towards the west, and that's going to really build the heat dome for them. For us, it's going to keep temperatures about normal, maybe even a little bit below normal as we head on into next week, not this week. And then here we are on next Wednesday. Again, we're seeing temperatures pretty close to normal, maybe a few degrees higher, but I think that little bit right there is going to indicate a possible change for us. But that's the middle of next week, and that's still a long ways away. As far as precipitation is concerned, Wednesday, we're getting rain right where you don't want anymore. Kentucky, you have just been pelted over the last couple of weeks with tremendous amount of rain. It looks like that's still going to be the case. A couple of showers right here in Cincinnati, but overall points north are going to be fine. Possibly some severe weather on Wednesday into the Great Lakes region. Thursday, again, we're seeing unsettled weather down in this area, so we're not going to see a lot of sunshine. We'll have clouds, possibly a shower or two right here, Ohio Valley, Ohio River northward. I wouldn't really bet on it, but south, yes. Again, Kentucky, West Virginia, and the Tennessee Valley at that point. That's Thursday. On a Friday, kind of the same thing. There's going to be a frontal system pushing its way through. We could maybe see a little bit of severe weather there. Look at what the model's showing out in Iowa. It looks like there could be a patch of some severe weather you have to keep an eye on. That's for a Friday. On Saturday, here comes the next system coming in. Again, it's going to be somewhat active, I think, over the weekend itself. On Sunday, that's going to be pushing off. The heavy weather will head into the east mid-Atlantic region, Pennsylvania, and points up towards the north. Notice how dry it is off towards the west. Remember that I talked about that heat dome? Well, that's going to be reflecting there as far as temperatures. Going to heat up as there's not going to be much in the way of precipitation. By next Wednesday, we could see, and here comes the next system. This could start changing our weather a little bit right here in the Ohio Valley. Have to keep an eye on it. Could be a little bit of severe weather along with it as it pushes the heat down towards the south. So we're starting to see a little bit, possibly a shift in our weather. Again, a high ridge of high pressure off to the west, heat dome there, and that's going to bring in possibly a northwesterly flow, which could drop our temperatures a little bit. Again, that may happen by next week. But before that, hot and humid across the area with some showers specifically coming in for our weekend. I'm George, the Weather Dad.